Hello, Guilty Feminists. On the 17th of June, I'll be doing a Guilty Feminist in conversation with Tracy Emin as part of Harry Styles' Meltdown Festival at the South Bank. That sounds too cool for me, but I'm going to do it anyway. On the 18th of July, the Guilty Feminist will be at the Ventnor Fringe on the Isle of Wight. Get tickets now. And we'll be at the Edinburgh Fringe from the 20th to the 23rd of August. For tickets to any of these, go to guiltyfeminist.com and click on live shows. Now, the Road to Gilead is specifically about the agenda of the far right. What we're doing is forming a joyful resistance and creating a better existence. We just don't want that to be shows. We want that to be open space events so you can come, have your say, collaborate with like-minded people on creating real grassroots change that will shift the dial in your community. So we held a day with Amnesty International with the brilliant open space method where anyone can call a space and people turn up and contribute to whatever it is you want to do. You don't have to have any ideas. You can just come and contribute to other people's open spaces. You can just sit and listen. You can flip from one to the other. It's a really, really brilliant method. The last one was super successful. It was completely oversubscribed. And we had other events that tuned in by Zoom and then did their own thing around the country. So if you would like to come to the next one in London, this one we're doing in association with Stonewall. It will be on the 20th of June. The thrust will be LGBTQ issues, but you do not have to be LGBTQ plus to attend. And there are lots of intersection between reproductive rights and LGBTQ rights, for example. So you can come and you can contribute in any way you like at all. So if you would like to come to the London one, or you would like to join the Zoom event where you come in remotely, wherever you are, or you would like to do a satellite event in your town and we can Zoom together for parts of it and then you can do your full-on breakout day, then that would be wonderful too. Last time we had a breakout group in Basingstoke and another one in Scotland and even a few people from Berlin. So if you would like to satellite, we would really encourage you to hold one locally and then we will satellite in and then you do yours and then we satellite back in and we compare notes at the end of the day. If you would just like to sign up for the London one, it's £10 including lunch for the whole day. And at the end of the day, there will be a live Guilty Feminist Stonewall episode in the same room that you can stay for if you want to. If you cannot afford the £10, we don't wish that to be a barrier for anyone. So just let us know at guiltyfeminist@gmail.com and we will figure it out. There's also the option to pay £20 and that means you will pay for someone else's space who can't pay. And that would, of course, be very helpful and a wonderful community thing to do. For more details about this, go to guiltyfeminist.com on the homepage. And now, on with the podcast.
I'm a feminist, but I don't really know what an ISA is. And it's not because I'm not too thick to know what one is. It's just I don't care.
Oh, I hear that.
Yeah.
I need to care so much more.
I'm a feminist, but the audiobook I'm reading at the moment, I'm too thick for. It's called Cuddy. It's about an old monk. And I'm bored.
I don't think that's not thick.
5 stars and everything.
Oh, that's annoying.
Someone has enjoyed that.
But sometimes critics give things 5 stars because they want other people to think they're very clever.
Yeah.
So if it's got 5 stars from a broadsheet, and listen, if you're in from a broadsheet tonight, I think your stars are accurate if they're 5. But sometimes I think they go, oh, this is very difficult.
Yeah.
I'll give it 5 stars, then everyone will know how clever I am.
Yeah.
So maybe that's happened. Or maybe it's just not for you. Is it about an old monk? Why did you start reading a book about an old monk, though?
My really cool, clever aunt recommended it to me.
Oh, yeah. You know you're allowed to give up. If you're not enjoying it, you are allowed to give up.
I think giving up on an audiobook is next level. It's happening to me.
I know.
All I've got to do is lie back and shut my eyes, which doesn't sound like great feminism. But ultimately, Surely I can endure the sound of an entire book.
I'm looking forward to your review on Goodreads, which is I lay back and thought of England. 5 stars. Okay, mine is much worse.
All right.
I'm a feminist, but I was very honoured to be invited to Giselle Pellico's event in Parliament. And so there was like a morning tea and she spoke and gave a reading from the book, and I met lots of incredible feminists there. And I was with Laura Bates, and somebody offered to introduce us, which was lovely. And we went up, and there was, you know, when there's a step and repeat board, like a board, branded board, so that you can have a picture, and then you put that on Instagram, and other people go, oh, I must buy that book. And I looked at the branding board, and I said to the woman who'd said, I want to introduce you, wasn't quite sure who she was, but she seemed formal and part of the event. I said, is this event sponsored by Vinted? So I just thought, it's like Vinted on the board. I thought, this is really weird. Like, I thought, are we at the point of late-stage capitalism now where Giselle Pellico's book is sponsored by Vinted? That second-hand fancy clothes eBay site on the thing. I went, really? Is this sponsored by Vinted? And she went, no, we're Vintage Books. And I was speaking to an incredibly elegant imprint of an enormous publishing company, this very elegant women's imprint. And I asked her if the Giselle Pellico, with my face, in front of Laura Bates, in front of one of the most high-profile feminists in this country, Laura Bates, writes these incredible books, said, is this event sponsored by Vinted? And that happened ages ago. And do you know what I haven't told you? I was ashamed. It's taken me so long I had to get over it before I could share it here. I just went, my God. Is this sponsored by Vinted?
There's a brilliant...
And are there any freebies?
There's a brilliant Bristolian comedian called Amy Mason. Check out her work. She's amazing. And she's got a wonderful line in her last show where she describes Vinted as being like Fortnite for women in their 40s. It's spot on. That's really good, Debs.
I know. Well, it's really bad, but that makes it really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I'm a feminist, but my wife is so eccentric that I'm genuinely worried that she might get dementia and I won't notice. Phew. They've laughed. Yeah, she is really straight. No, please laugh. It was a worry. It's like that we've been together long enough now that I can sort of decode it, but hardly any of the words she says are the words that you're meant to use for the thing. So she'll be like,
spoonerisms.
Oh, I'm going to go... Well, no, not really. She'll be like, oh, I'm going to go and meet Daroline and John at the Carrots Whiskers. And you'll go, oh, she's clearly going to go and meet Sally and Dan at the Tiger's Head.
Oh, wow.
I just know what she means now.
Well,
and she'll
lovely
like
that
whole
you know,
new sentences
though.
as well. Like you'll be like, well, are you ready to go? And she'll be like, just hold me 1 tickins.
Ah.
Just hold me 1 tickins.
I love this. But she's a playwright. She's a wordsmith.
She is a wordsmith. But once she said goodbye to a taxi driver by going, night, sleep well. She's like...
Do you know what I envy about... And I think this is something to do with a same-sex relationship. What I envy is that she will say, oh, I'm going down to the Carrots Whiskers with Jane and Bill, and you know it's the Tiger's Head with Don and Marie.
Yeah.
If I say to my husband, I'm going to the King's Arms, where we always go, with our best friends in the world, Bob and Sue, he'll go, what? Who? And I'll be like, and I've used the correct names. Just to be clear, my best friends are not Bob and Sue, but I'm just, filling in some names here. He will go, who? What? Genuinely, is anyone else in a relationship with a man? Just give us a cheer. Yeah. Is it or is it not true?
I have done that.
That sometimes they just, even though, like, you've been talking about the divorce of some friends for ages and sort of mulling it over and going, oh, I'm really sorry they're divorced, but, maybe it's for the best because she did say to me at coffee and blah, 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 blah. And then he'll be like, And then 10 minutes later, we were still in the same room, but we haven't said anything for a while. I'll go, do you think you should have a drink with him? And he'll go, who?
Yeah.
Do you find this with men? Yeah. And it's not all, # not all men. I'm sure some men can finish your sentences. Just give us a cheer if your partner is a man and he can finish your sentences. Give us a cheer. Nobody's. Oh. It was a bit delayed. It's not convincing, is it? You couldn't even finish a cheer, so I don't know.
Lovely.
I'm a feminist, but when I first heard about Project 2025 some years ago, I originally thought it was a WeWork initiative. I got it confused. There were two things on a page. And then I realised. Yeah, but it sounds very innocuous, doesn't it? They've made it sound like that.
Yeah.
You do one.
I'm a feminist, but I did an embarrassing thing. I went to my gym. That bit is fine. It was a lunchtime class. And as I walked in, I was a little bit late, and the briefing to the class about what was going to be in the class had already begun. So, you skulk in that instance. But I saw a dear friend's husband, who I didn't realise was a member of my gym. And I was so giddy to see this man. I know the friend well, but I'd actually only ever met him twice. But when I saw him, listeners, I went, oh! Like really giddy. I was like, oh! But like a kind of quiet, like pointing across the room, couple of thumbs up like that. And he looked like freaked out. And I sort of took a step back and was like, oh God, he doesn't remember you, of course. And that's absolutely fair enough. He's only ever met you once. One of them was a party and, there were cocktails. There's no reason why he'd remember you. And then, so a bit later in the class, I sort of sidled over and was like, hey, I'm, let's just say it, I'm Jodie's friend. We met at that party, you had those killer cocktails. And he was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, anyway, sorry, I think I came in a bit, like, giddy there to see you. That wasn't very cool. And anyway, that was that. Couple of days go past, and I think of it again, thinking that was strange. But, who knows? People are socially strange, whatever, and I had gone in strong, and I texted Jodie and said, God, it's so lovely that your husband has joined the gym that I go to. I think I freaked him out a bit saying hello because I don't think he remembered me. And she said he hasn't joined that gym.
So that was a random man.
That
You're
was
going
a different man, yeah.
have to bump into.
Yeah.
Either that.
Sorry, sometimes they do all look the same.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to never, ever see the man again.
But do you know what? I would like you to build on the story every time and see how long it takes. Because he's
how long
probably
it takes him to be brave and say, I haven't got a wife called Jodie.
But did you say wife? Because what he heard...
I said I'm friends with your wife. No, you're right, actually. I just said I'm friends with Jodie. So he's going, Jodie.
He's thinking, Jodie's party, a lot of cocktails. Oh, I can't remember which Jodie. It's probably a friend of my wife.
Yeah.
I was there. I drank too much. I flirted with this woman. After too many cocktails, I'm just going to have to nod and smile.
Yeah.
And I, to be fair, I wouldn't go, I don't know a Jodie. I'd be thinking, fuck, who's Jodie? And I would go, and I do know a couple of Jodies, so I'd be thinking, did I go to a party and was there cocktail? I'm on this man's side now.
Oh, no.
But I would love it if every time you saw him, you just made up more of the story. And can I pitch this?
This is more fun, actually,
Can I pitch this? That you see him and you go...
Isn't it great news about Jodie?
Yeah. Yeah. And then...
How fab is that for her?
And then every time you see
him...
him...
so hard for it, hasn't she?
You just do another bit and another bit, another bit. And then one time... You just see him by the weights, he's probably sitting there sort of, waiting for a weight or something, and you just go up and you go, we do need to talk about what happened that night. I just can't live with it anymore. And I think we both know what we could have. At what point is this man going to say, I'm so sorry I can't place you? Yeah. Live from the Museum of Comedy in London, the Spontaneity Shop presents The Guilty Feminist with me, Deborah Frances-White, guest co-host Jessica Fostekew, and our very special guests, Claire, Mahon and Julia Rowland, talking about girls' rights as human rights. Hello. Oh, hello. How are you? I'm Deborah Frances-White. This is the Guilty Feminist podcast. Give us a cheer if you have been to the Guilty Feminist before. Woo! Give us a cheer if you listen to the Guilty Feminist at home. Woo! Give us a cheer if you don't know what you're at. Woo! Okay, so what you're at is, you are at a podcast recording. A podcast is a radio that nobody stops you making. And so we're recording this tonight, so if you do a laugh, thank you, you will hear that back on the recording. Not that one, because this will be cut out, obviously. But another future laugh Or if you ask our fantastic guests a question, that laugh would definitely stay in. If you ask our guests a question, you'll be able to hear yourself back on the podcast. So it's a podcast recording. In other words, look, we don't want any Coldplay incidents here, okay? So if you're here with someone you shouldn't be here with, don't speak up. Don't speak up. I mean, you can still laugh because who really knows their partner's laugh when they're out being unfaithful? I think it'd be really tricky. Really, really tricky. And also, who's here at a feminist show, leaving their partner at home on the other side of town? Why are you making that face now? No. Just give us a cheer if you're having an affair tonight. Excellent. Well, it was one cheer. That's nice. We like to think it's an open relationship, and we probe no further. Just give us a cheer if you're on a date. Anyone here on a date? You're on a date! Oh, that's so nice. Oh, with your wife. And yet, she's sitting behind you, and there's an empty seat next to you. I'm going to question that, as I think we're sold out tonight, so I don't know why there's this empty seat next to you. But strategic, what's the strategy sitting a row behind your partner on date night? The only time I get away with her, I'm just repeating this for the microphone. No, you say it, I can't say it.
Oh gosh, the only time I can get away from her after being with her for 20 years.
Why have you all said that like that was sweet? That was a terrible thing to say. You've been together 20 years and you sit in separate rows at the theatre. Presumably, you're just creating a bit more space for yourself. Yeah. Yes, excellent. Okay. You annoy her. Yeah. Okay. This is verging on a counselling session, isn't it? Like couples therapy. We're right into couples therapy, and that would be a good show to do, wouldn't it? We could do a couples therapy one night where we just come if you'd like couples therapy, and Jessica Fostekew, renowned comedian, not psychotherapist, and I would have a go. Like we could. I think we'd be good. Tonight we're doing a Road to Gilead show. Just give us a cheer if you know what the Road to Gilead is. And just give us a cheer if you know what Gilead is. Give us a cheer if you don't know what Gilead is. Okay, so have you ever seen The Handmaid's Tale? Yeah. So, read it. Well done. It's not a television show, Deborah. It's not Handmaids on Hulu. No. It is, in fact, a very literary novel written by Margaret Atwood. Correct. That is correct. That is the correct response. And in fact, you were the only one to say it. Disappoints me. What's wrong with the rest of you? Call yourselves feminists. You're a feminist, but I said, have you seen The Handmaid's Tale? And you went, yeah. Give us a cheer if you've read The Handmaid's Tale. Excellent. Well done. Give us a cheer if it was years ago. Of course it was. You haven't read anything except Instagram for the last 5 years. But we all remember when we used to read books. Back then, it was a joy, wasn't it? I listen to audiobooks now, and because I'm doing other things, but I'm really trying to listen to audiobooks to just fill my mind with important and interesting things. Because I fear what the phone's doing to my brain. I'm trying to get rid of it. Anyway, this is not the point. The Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale. Gilead is the dystopian future she imagines for America after the Christian nationalists have taken it over. And I think we are on the road to Gilead, except with artificial intelligence. Because whatever you could say about Gilead, the Atwood Gilead, very low tech. That's true, though. They don't have any tech. There's no security cameras ever. So if they want to escape, they just pull their hood up, or they put on a green dress instead of a red one. We're not going to be able to do that. When the Christian nationalists take over here, they're bringing AI. They're bringing cameras on every street corner that can read your face. You will be back in the house before you look. I'm not trying to scare you, but it's going to be Gilead with AI. With AI. Imagine if Commander Fred had AI and had security cameras everywhere. So we're looking down the barrel of what's happening in America now with the populism and the far right and people just being rounded up off the streets for literally no reason and thrown into concentration camps, and women's rights being absolutely gutted, especially the rights to the very cellular core level of what's inside your body. All of that's gone. And we're seeing now, I mean, the local elections were quite devastating, but it's not as bad as it looks, okay? It's really not. I think it's really important that we say it's not as bad as it looks. Most councils have now no overall control, so I think we are coming into an age of more coalition politics. I think it's 61 councils have no overall control. the top after that is, I think, 27, and it's Labour. Then it's the Lib Dems. Then it's Reform. So what we see is the papers going, oh, there's all these reform. Yes. But we are not there yet. And we've got a good 3 years between now and the general election. And there is a groundswell now. I think probably the best thing that could have happened at the local elections in one way is us going, oh, fuck, we're not going to walk this. We've now got to put the work in. So the Road to Gilead is specifically a show and a series of events and open space days where we're figuring out how to do a U-turn. It's not, we would like to get a lift to Gilead on the road. It's, oh God, we're on the road. Where's the turn? We've missed the turn off again. Oh shit, we've missed the turn off. We've got to find a roundabout. So that's what it's for. So at the beginning of these shows, I'm now doing something that I call right-wing news, which is a monologue. Now, normally, I just do a roundup of everything that's happening in right-wing news and write some jokes. But I've decided tonight to pretty much exclusively write a monologue about Nigel Farage. Not all of it has jokes, given he is one, and everything he's doing isn't entirely funny. Now, on the 29th of April, 2026, The Guardian published an exclusive investigative report led by journalist Anna Isaac. The report revealed that Nigel Farage was given £5 million by the crypto billionaire Christopher Harborne, who lives in Thailand. He does enjoy foreigners who live abroad, just not ones that live here. Shortly before announcing he would stand, not Christopher Harborne, Nigel Farage, would stand in the 2024 British general election. Now, this is interesting because Farage had stated he did not intend to stand as a prospective MP, but U-turned in June 2024. Interesting. Within weeks of receiving the personal gift from the Thailand-based businessman. Had you heard that part? Yeah. Announcing that he would run for the seat of Clacton-on-Sea. Although he accepted the money in early 2024, the transaction was kept entirely hidden from the public and parliamentary watchdogs for over 2 years until it was exposed by journalists last month. In July 2024, Farage became an MP for the first time ever and has since stated he now expects to become Prime Minister at the next general election. Men are very entitled, aren't they? I just expect it. I expect I will be Prime Minister. I've decided, I assume it's coming. After being approached by The Guardian about the gift, neither he nor Harborne provided a comment. Instead, lawyers for Reform UK and Harborne pleaded for more time. According to ITV News, The Guardian did the decent thing and waited for the legal response, which they should do, and Farage and Harborne bypassed them. Farage immediately gave an interview to the rival publication, The Daily Telegraph, disclosing the £5 million gift on his own terms to get ahead of the impending leak. So he was asked, he was given right to reply, and he went, oh, can I have some more time, please? I'm just figuring out what I'm going to say, which is always suspicious, isn't it? Can I just need to talk to my lawyers? And then he didn't let them break the story. He went as if I'm breaking the story myself. I just should tell you. Nigel Farage first told The Telegraph that the £5 million gift was given to him for security on the 29th of April, that day. Farage stated the money was an unconditional personal gift intended to fund a lifetime of private personal security. A lifetime. A lifetime. It's like a gift voucher for a lifetime. But he didn't give it in gift vouchers, which I would have. I think if I'd wanted that to be security, I definitely would have made that gift vouchers. But he just gave him cash. That was so nice of him, because that means he can send it on anything. But it is for, and I think this needs to be clear, his private personal security. A lifetime voucher for private personal security. He explained that he is the most physically attacked politician in modern British history. Men don't often do a lot of self-reflection, do they? Because if that came out of my mouth, I would at least look in the mirror and go, but why? And it's not always that. There are some politicians that are very good that are attacked for other reasons, but I think on this occasion, I would look at myself and go, what was the milkshake for? What? But he has not contacted BetterHelp. And he has not, because I think if he talked to a therapist, they'd go, why is that, Nigel? What do you think, what part do you play in that transaction? You know, when you tell a therapist, oh, but this always happens that men are always mean to me. And you go, okay, but what kind of man are you attracting? And why are you participating in that? And then you go, oh, fuck, it's me too. Got to break this cycle, right? He's not done that. So he's just said out loud with his mouth, I am the most physically attacked politician in modern British history. And he said he has been repeatedly denied state-funded protection by the Home Office and the police. He asserts that he has been, quote, denied at every twist and turn, leaving him with a, quote, grim reality that requires relying on private donors to stay safe. But gang, sorry to tell you this, your tax has paid for Nigel Farage's security detail. After winning his seat in Clacton-on-Sea in July 2024, Farage became eligible for parliamentary protection. And most MPs don't apply for it, but he did. For over a year, the Parliamentary Security Department provided him with a state-funded personal close protection detail. This taxpayer-funded arrangement came to an end in September 2025, not long ago, when parliamentary authorities conducted a risk assessment and slashed his state security detail by 75%. So he still does have more taxpayer-funded security than most MPs. He's still got 25%. It doesn't sound like every twist and turn, does it? He hasn't been denied at every twist and turn. Like, there have been some twists where he's been not denied, and a number of turns where it's not being denied at now. 25% left. He's like, I've been consistently denied. Okay, so following this downgrade, Reform UK donors stepped in to privately finance his ongoing team of guards. Ongoing team of guards. Okay. But I don't understand, because he accepted 5 million quid for a lifetime of security. A lifetime of security. He's already accepted that before he became an MP. And then he applied for taxpayer funding and got it, which most MPs don't do. And then he was told he didn't qualify for as much anymore because there wasn't a huge risk in their assessment. So he asked Reform donors to step up and privately finance him for his team of guards. His team of guards, but he already had 5 million quid lifetime. He had the gift vouchers. I don't understand. In September 2024, when he had 5 million quid from Crypto Boy and full tax-funded security, on an LBC phone-in, this is when he still had both of those forms, Owls and Cryptos, on an LBC phone-in, Nigel Farage claimed he would not hold face-to-face constituency surgeries in Clacton-on-Sea due to severe personal security fears, and that he would not risk allowing the general public to, quote, flow through the door with their knives in their pockets. I would say, Dean, just say to people, if you've got a knife, leave it in the basket. That's what happens in nightclubs, isn't it? I don't know. I feel like just frisk them. If you really feel that anxious about your own constituents, just say, put a little metal detector. That's what I'd say. Instead, he announced he would only conduct virtual surgeries via Zoom. He claimed that the parliamentary authorities had advised him against going to Clacton for security reasons. Those same authorities denied that claim and said they'd never tell an MP not to visit his constituents, rather advise how to do it safely. Interesting. So he's got 2 lots of paid-for security at this point and still doesn't go to Clacton-on-Sea because of security risks, but he's got a team of guards. Interesting. Farage has never disclosed the exact number of Zoom surgeries he has held, and according to LBC, his political opponents claim he has not held a single formal Zoom surgery group session since his election. Instead of hosting formal publicised Zoom surgery events, Farage and his staff address constituent problems on a strict case-by-case basis. If a matter requires a video or telephone meeting, it is arranged privately behind closed doors. To be fair, he does love a closed door. That is on brand. I mean, what they could get is a cameo. Because if you can't get a surgery or a video surgery, and you are a Clacton constituent, just note that you could pay £60 to £77 to get a video surgery with him. He does so many of those, and if you want a business or a special request one, a cameo from Nigel Farage is £3,752. And he is doing those, but he's not doing any formal Zoom surgeries like a normal MP would give surgeries. He has made between £374,000 and £430,000 at last count. Oh, sorry, if you are a Clacton resident, you can't get a cameo from him anymore. He has stopped doing them because he's being investigated because of the content of his cameos. Disappointing. You will never, ever see him. On the 14th of May, today, Nigel Farage newly claimed the £5 million gift was a reward for campaigning for Brexit for 27 years. No security mentioned. He made this comment during a video interview with The Sun. This statement marked a significant shift in his explanation, as he had previously said it was for security. The change in his story occurred on the same day the Parliamentary Commissioner for Standards confirmed Farage was under formal investigation, and immediately followed media reports from Sky News revealing he had used cash to purchase a £1.4 million home shortly after receiving the money. I suppose you could say you might feel more secure in a bigger house. That's a sort of security, isn't it? He claims he was already putting in an offer on the house, but you might know you were getting that £5 million, mightn't you, before you got it as well? That might have been promised to you. We don't know, behind closed doors. Maybe that crypto boy paid for a cameo, and that's how it all started. Because the £5 million was received shortly before Farage announced he would stand as an MP for Clacton, the Parliamentary Commissioner for Standards launched an official investigation into him. Now, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse, because Donald Trump is currently suing his own government for $10 billion because somebody, he thinks, leaked his tax return report. So he thinks that's worth $10 billion. And I've seen him say something like, well, I'm kind of suing myself, but I'll probably say yes. Now, it could be worse. It could be worse. Because in America as well, they announced Trump cell phones, and everyone put in £100. They have made 59 million from that, and they've now said no phones and you're not getting your money back. And the reason I say it could be worse is because it will be worse if Nigel Farage is Prime Minister, because he is not currently, he's the leader of a small party. He's not currently in power. But can you see, like, what's going on over there and what we should expect? This is why we must never allow him to become Prime Minister. And now, to close, this is a very formal, this is actually quite a solemn moment now. This is a solemn moment because I'm going to read the names of the fallen Reform councillors who were elected in the local elections but are now sadly no longer with us. They've only been Reform councillors for a number of weeks. Glenn Gibbons, Sunderland, suspended by Reform following allegations of racism. Jay Cooper, Sefton, declared not welcome by Nigel Farage following reports of him calling the Holocaust a hoax, and then resigned from the party. Footnote, he spelt Holocaust H-A-L-L-O. Stuart Pryor, Essex, expelled by Reform and resigned as a councillor after he was accused the week before the election of creating racist and Islamophobic posts on social media. Ben Rowe, Plymouth, suspended by Reform after he had been called out on multiple occasions for his offensive posts. Ashley Monk, Redditch, resigned to sit as an independent following a dispute. And Nathaniel Mende, Sheffield, suspended by Reform as he had shared pictures of swastikas and Adolf Hitler's book Mein Kampf and other far-right iconography. So, a moment of silence for the fallen. And this is just a bit to cheer you up at the end, because you thought it was so bad when you saw all those Reform councillors at the local election winning. But as you can see, they are dropping off by the day. There's already so many fewer Reform councillors. If we can just keep up these numbers, guys, by the end of next month, we won't have any at all. So just keep up the complaints if you see anything. And that is right-wing news. All right, are we ready to start the show? Then please welcome to the stage by the incredible Jessica Fostekew. How are you, Jess?
Yeah, fine. How are you?
I'm very well.
Just asking you in public.
Yeah.
I'm very well as well.
Yeah, well,
Hi,
we're only
everyone.
going to say that here, aren't we? We're not going to say, hot flushes or anything, are we?
Yeah.
No,
I
we
would.
could say that here.
Yeah, I'd say that here.
Shall we say that then? Hot flushes.
Well, I'm not going to say it because it's not true. I don't know. I'd say it here, but I wouldn't make it up here. Just to clarify.
She's very good,
Yeah,
isn't she?
yeah.
What a
Okay.
feminist. Okay, this is The Guilty Feminist, the podcast in which we explore our noble goals as 21st century feminists and the hypocrisies and insecurities which undermine them. I'm Deborah Frances-White. With me is Jessica Fostekew, and we are talking about women and girls' rights as human rights. Now, would you like to see some stand-up comedy? And please welcome to the stage the incredible Jessica Fostekew.
Oh, hi. Well, there are some newer thoughts and feelings. Some of them a bit potentially edgy for this crowd, but we'll try. So I've had lots of adventures this year. I've been very lucky, and I'm going to tell you some stories from my travels. I am coming to the end of touring a show that is sort of loosely about me trying to become more tolerant for various reasons, and had a really good chance to practice, actually. I was lucky enough to get booked for a comedy festival that was also skiing. I got to go to Mirabel in France, where they used to do the Winter Olympics there. And it's known, this particular peak is known for being where the absolute poshest of English people do their skiing. And if you want to work on your tolerance, go and have a holiday with them. One morning, I got on a chairlift alone, and I was with two couples, and they're a level of poshness that you don't really sort of encounter in day-to-day life unless you sort of work for the royal family or Stanley Johnson. It was like, I'm talking about a level of poshness that, like, even when someone's in their 30s, it sounds like they've had a stroke. It sounded like that. And I thought, no, Jess, you're working on your tolerance. Do you know what I mean? How dare you judge these people on their accent? Nobody chooses their accent. You don't know what's going on for them. They could be lovely. We set off, right? If you've never been on a chairlift, once you set off, it's a little chair made out of sticks up the sky. There's no escape route. You can't get out. You're very much locked in the traditional sense, as well as focused. And as we set off, they started talking, and the man on the end started saying, "Well, I don't understand why this gentleman has ended up going to prison when all he's actually done is shoot a teenager." And they were all doubling down, and it was extraordinary. One of them was saying, "And he didn't shoot, he's only shot at the legs. He's avoided any of the main areas, and he's only taken out the legs. If the teenager's on the man's land, what do you expect the gentleman to do? It's the gentleman's right to take out a teenager if the teenager's on the man's land." And as this journey goes on and on, I sort of sat there on the edge on my own, like, oh my God. And I thought, maybe they're only talking like this because, they don't know for sure. We're in France, they don't know for sure that I can understand what they're saying. There's a world in which they've assumed I'm French. Yeah. So I thought, I'll let them know that I speak English. Maybe it will kind of, I don't know. It feels like ethically I should let them know I understand what they can say. So I spoke to the lady closest to me, and I opened with what I would say is quite a standard type of conversational opener with a stranger for me, but in retrospect, probably not a sentence she's ever heard. I turned to her and went, "Whoa, I like your rucksack." And that it sort of seized her up. She went, "Oh." And but they weren't scared. They carried on this conversation. "Yes, I think it's a human right to defend your land, and you should be able to bear arms if you're going out." And it goes on and on and on. As the journey goes on, I think my favourite bit of the conversation I overheard was I think one of them had an adult child working out there because one of them said, "Tilly has had to administer 2 massages this week." And the other lady said, "Well, you must be careful that shit doesn't burn out." And then we get towards the end, you're just about to get, lift your barrier up, ready to ski off. And in fairness, the lady closest to me says, "Oh, it was lovely to meet you." And I said, "Oh, it's lovely to meet you too. Have a good day skiing, and I'll remember to never accidentally trespass on your land." And in fairness, 3 of them went, "Oh!" But the man on the end went, "Good, then we'll both be happy." Extraordinary. What else have I got to tell you about my adventures? Everywhere I've been going on tour, I've been trying to find out what the news is in the local place. And my favourite bit of news was in Lancaster, where in the news was a local woman called Sue who had made it to the finals of Ms. Great Britain. It is a beauty pageant for the over 45s. Yes. And what I loved about the story was I love journalism most where it's quite clear at various points in an article where the journalists sort of run out of steam. And there was a beautiful line in this where it said, during the final, Sue will be required to wear a bikini, a gown of her choosing, and other clothes. And I loved that. And they hadn't asked much of Sue. They'd asked her one question. They'd said, why are you doing it? I doubt they'd asked in that tone. We can only guess. In writing it said, they'd said to her, why are you doing it? And I loved this. Sue had said, and she was quoted, she'd said, I'm doing it to raise awareness of middle-aged women. Yeah. Like we are a disease that no one is doing nearly enough about. And I thought, I like that, actually. I'm here for that. I want fundraisers. I want people running marathons. I want to see sheets thrown over pitch-up tables in service stations with men there with plastic buckets saying for £5 a month, you can silence a perimenopausal woman for hours. I want us to all get special little rubber wristband, pink, for Mawad. It's Middle-Aged Women Awareness Day. And we'll all celebrate that. It will become like a national thing that hundreds of thousands of people do. It will be similar to Movember. But for Middle-Aged Women Awareness Day, we won't only grow out our moustaches, we grow out our beard as well, our rogue nipple hair. We'll all wear the uniform. It's a barrel leg jean with a white trainer. And every time we cough or jump, we'll do a little piss. Thank you, yeah, okay. Something in that. Okay, and then one last thing. Everywhere, I've been to lots of places that are applying to become the town of culture. That's fun, I think. But there's always, well, not for always, for a long time, there've been a city of culture, and now you can apply, as of next year, there'll be, in the UK, we'll have our first ever town of culture every few years. And what you get, you get a load of money, basically, and you get a boost for your profile and stuff like that. And I've been to all these lovely towns that are applying, and I wish them all well. And I did a bit of research, because I was going to so many places that are going for this, and I learnt that if you get town of culture, you get £3.5 million. Yeah, and it has made me wonder whether I could potentially reposition myself as a town. I've got a lot of similar attributes to the types of towns that are applying. Unendingly scruffy, particularly uninviting at night, increasingly finding everything shuts down at some point during the afternoon. Got potholes no one's doing anything about. And these days, woefully underused main thoroughfare. That'll do.
Jessica Fostekew, everybody. We have some really exceptional guests tonight, and I want you to focus on what they're saying. So I want you to quickly go to the loo. We're going to have a short interval. Go to the loo, grab a drink if you need one, and come back in for our deep dive chat. Have you had a good first half? Then we'll see you back here in 10 to 15.
So that was the first half. Join us for part 2, which should be in your feed right now.